In this video, I'm going to be explaining why New York session is the best session to trade, whether it be forex, indices, it doesn't matter. I've traded both sessions, and in this video, I'm going to discuss all the reasons why, and hopefully by the end of the video, you enjoy New York session more. Maybe there's some tips and tricks that you're a New York session trader right now that you don't know. Maybe you live in London and you're able to trade London and New York. Maybe it'll allow you to trade both successfully, but in this video, I'm going to dive into all those reasons. So let's jump in. So the first reason why I think New York session is the best session to trade is we have more data to work with. So what I mean by more data to work with is we are able to see what Asia did. We are also able to see what London did. And then New York is usually a continuation or a reversal. I'll show you guys later on in this video the exact daily cycle that I'm talking about. But a lot of the time, New York session will continue in the same way that London was. So usually London will take Asia high and then head the other way, or vice versa. And then New York will retrace and then continue with London. That's usually what happens. And you can go back test that. I'll show you a prime example of this on the chart soon. When I get on for New York session, I have that much more data to work with. And I don't know if you guys have been with me for a while, but I think it was last year, maybe the year before, I decided to trade London session. I'm a New York trader, right? So London session for me is like 2 a.m. in the morning. So when I was getting up at 2 a.m., I was literally so tired, it was insane. And in hindsight, I thought London was the best session for me. But when I went to trade it, I was so tired that I literally was missing setups left and right, and I was falling asleep at my desk within an hour and a half of being there. It made my day worse. It made my quality of life worse. And it's funny because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So what I mean by this is London session traders always tell New York traders how much better it is. And in this video, I'm here to tell you New York traders how much better New York session is for us. And, I have a lot of London session traders in my community that actually do better in New York session as well. And that's because we have the data that I'm talking about. You have Asia, you have London. And hey, I don't live in London, so I can't tell you it's easier or not in that sense, because when I traded London session, I was impaired. I was tired, right? I haven't traded London session when it's my natural session. So again, I can't touch on that. So maybe if you're a trader who trades both sessions, you can maybe leave a comment on this video, letting me know what you think is easier or better or more successful for you. And then maybe we can discuss that in the comments. That'd be great. So the other thing is New York session has its own daily cycle. So London with Asia and then New York with London. Okay. So a lot of the time, like I touched on earlier in the video, London session Asia will range, London session will take the top and then head the other way, or vice versa. Where for New York, London session indicates pretty much where New York session is most likely going to go. This is an ICT concept, but it's like 70% of the time, if it's going to be a bearish New York, London high is going to hold, vice versa for longs. And I went and back tested this over 100 different trades, and it was right about 60, 70% of the time. You can even go look at your charts, turn the session indicator on. The one I use is Asian Session Range by FXN. That's the one I use, but you can go look for yourself. So when I look to trade New York session, I'm basing that off of what London has done. And there are other confluences, such as structure where we are on the higher time frame, but when all of those align with the daily cycle, that entry model for me becomes A+. And that's something that I use. That's something that community uses every single day, is what is the daily cycle doing? And like I said, London has Asia and then New York has London. So using London session, I'm able to determine where I think New York is going to go. So that's just using the data that I talked about earlier in the video to my advantage. All right, guys, I just wanted to jump on the charts here real quick and show you a little visual representation of what I was talking about quick. This will only take a second. So let's say this is Asia session and we're ranging, right? A lot of the time, if it's going to be a bearish day, London session will sweep the top of Asia like so, and then break to the downside. So this will be London's leg. Then New York will usually have some sort of retracement into a premium of this area, right? So let's do, this is Asia right here. Okay, and then we got London. Oh, disappeared on me, but you guys get what I'm trying to do. Okay, we got London, and then we got New York. I'll just label Asia right now quick. So this is variation 1, okay? So this will be Asia range, London will sweep liquidity, push the other way. So if you're a London session trader, this is an optimal move right here. What I see in New York is I'll be looking for this move. So I'll see London broke structure to the downside. I need to see a corrective retracement back up into here, and then I'll take it. So this is variation 1. Variation 2 is the exact same thing, but the other way. So Asia will range like so, usually very crappy price action. London will take the bottom, taking out this liquidity, and then break structure to the top. And then we'll have some sort of corrective retracement in New York session to take in the opposing direction. Okay, so this is the bearish one. Now, sometimes New York session will have a full-blown reversal, but that's why the corrective price action is very, very important, because obviously if this were to come down extremely aggressive, we don't want to be in that. Pay attention to how price action is coming down. So again, Asia right here, London, manipulation, expansion, and then we have New York, continuation. Okay, hopefully that made more sense. What I want you to do is go to your chart, turn on this indicator right here, Asia session range. I'll turn it on right. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what it's called, and I think it's right here, FXN, Asia session range. So add this bad boy, and you will be able to play with the settings, and then go back test this, and you're gonna see, not even back test it, just go back in price and look at the sessions, and you can see the amount of times that it's a bullish New York, this daily cycle will play out. And when it plays out, everything becomes more A+. So let's finish the video. The other reason why I like New York session the most is it has the most volatility. Now, New York session itself doesn't, but when the overlap is happening with London, that is the most volatile time to trade. That is when the biggest moves are happening, when London session and New York session overlap. So for myself, New York session, I can't really tell you what it is for London, what time it is for London off the top of my head, but I think I'm like 5 hours behind you guys. But anyway, New York session for me starts at 8 a.m. Okay, so 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. London session has a window where it overlaps for about 3 hours. So from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. New York time is the most volatile session, because it's not just London, it's not just New York, it's both of them. So that is the window, the kill zone, whatever you want to call it. The overlap is what it actually is, that I like to trade. And I find that is the best and the most beneficial for me as a trader. I find if I take any setups after 11, after that overlap is done, they aren't as successful as if I trade throughout that 3 hour window. That's just for me. And it'd be interesting for you to go back test and see if you find any common similarities with that. But it's just about using all of the data to our advantage. And it's just funny reflecting on it, because when I would back test, I would think London session was the best, because in hindsight's 2020, right? But when you're actually sitting there tired out of your mind, running on no sleep, you're not going to be as optimal, right? And that's why making that switch to London session last year and then coming back to New York is what made me realize how much more I like New York session. And the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If I lived in a place where I could trade both sessions, I probably would. I'd have my alerts on and I would take advantage of the opportunities that came. But I'm not in that circumstance. And I just wanted to make this video for any of you New York traders, or maybe you're a London trader as well, who have been told that New York session isn't as good. Use the concepts in this video and this advice that I gave you. Use the data to your advantage. So anyway, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this little sit down video with some tips and tricks. I really, really think this will help you develop and become a better trader. And if I did help you in this video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Trying to get these sit down videos buzzing, trying to get the technical videos buzzing. You guys will love them both, and I just appreciate every single one of you. So what do I say at the end of every single video? Let's be 1% better every single day. Take care, let's have an amazing trading week, and I'll see you in the next one.